The arrest warrants have already been signed. We are asking Officer Rolfe and Officer Brosnan to surrender themselves by 6 p.m. on tomorrow. Because Officer Brosnan is now becoming a cooperating witness for the state, we are asking the court to grant a bond of $50,000 and to allow Mr. Officer Brosnan to sign that bond. As I indicated, that he would become one of the first police officers to actually indicate that he is willing to testify against someone in his own department. As for Officer Rolfe, the person who fired the 2 bullets, we're recommending no bond for Officer Rolfe. If he is given a bond, that would be done by one of our Superior Court judges. But because of the severity of his act and then following up that act with kicking Mr. Brooks, we're asking that he not be granted a bond. I think that's it. I do want to ask Mr. Sean Williams. Mr. Williams represents Melvin Evans, who was driving the vehicle from Memphis. I have already apologized to Mr. Evans on behalf of the people of Fulton County and the city of Atlanta. He was only down here for a short while, and it's really unfortunate that he was, his vehicle was fired upon that night. Sean?
Thank you, Mr. Howard. I first want to, on behalf of all 3 of my clients who not only witnessed this horrific and tragic killing of this young man, I want to offer the condolences from them to the Rayshard Brooks family, and particularly his daughter. It has been very difficult for each one of my clients because they witnessed it, and they themselves have a lot of emotion on what they saw and what they was a part of involuntarily. I want to thank Paul Howard personally and commend him. I've been doing these type of cases across this nation, and Mr. Howard is one of the few prosecutors who will actually go on the line to even investigate something like this, as serious as this, and to do it in a way that I believe makes this city proud, as I'm a resident of this great city. And as he said, with greatness come responsibility. The city of Atlanta is a great city, and I wanted to apologize to my clients themselves that they came from Memphis and witnessed this. They're not going to give statements here today, but I will confirm to you that they have met with the Georgia Bureau of Investigation, provided them statements as well as information to support what you saw presented today by Paul Howard. It confirms that at no time was Mr. Brooks ever a threat to anyone, including the officers in that Wendy's parking lot. My client's statements confirm that Mr. Brooks was running, his back was turned, and was never a threat to anybody. The only threat that arose is when officer pulled out a gun. 2 of those bullets entered Mr. Rayshard Brooks' body, killing him. 1 of those bullets entered my client's vehicle, almost killing them. We could be here talking about 4 murders. And for that, my clients have suffered a lot, but nothing compared to what this family has. And with that said, my clients are here to join the fight of justice, to provide any assistance to this family, as well as to the Fulton County District Attorney's Office, as well as the GBI. And they look forward to an opportunity where they have justice is served. And I want you to know that they were fearful for their lives. That bullet came very close to them, and Mr. Brooks's body laid less than 10 feet from their vehicle. And keep in mind, this was in a crowded Wendy's drive-through parking lot. And when you take the actions of reasonableness, as Mr. Howard said, reasonableness never has a deadly weapon being fired when you have innocent bystanders like my client standing. All of those things, as well as the fact that Mr. Brooks was not a threat to any officer that night, should have gone into play, but it didn't. And I hope and pray that with this action by Fulton County District Attorney's Office, as well as the actions by Mayor Bottoms and the task force, that we don't have to have any more press conferences like this anytime soon. Thank you, Mr. Howard. I appreciate it.